This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in the highlands of Denver, Colorado. I'm here at Denver Chiropractic. Since 2008, they've been providing the best in pain management and optimal health for both individuals, families, and athletes. I'm here with Dr. Trent Artichoker. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. This is something that basically began for you with formal education in biology, chemistry. You went on to chiropractic education in Oregon. It led into Colorado. You really have about a decade of formalized education, but that seems to just be going more and more. Share with me a little bit how it is you got involved in this type of industry.
Yeah, chiropractic is a great profession. I love it. I'm so glad I'm in doing this. It's definitely my home. I got started with this because I suffered from migraine headaches. I had severe migraine headaches. And the reason I had migraine headaches was because I had a leg length inequality. I had a leg that was short about this much. Yeah, totally. And so my pelvis was totally crooked. And they made me wear a shoe when I was a kid. Totally did not like that shoe. I was conscientious about it. I ditched the shoe. My pelvis was like this. I was very active, but the imbalance created muscle strain on my body, which in my particular case showed up as headaches. And so I had really bad headaches growing up as a kid. My mom would rub my temples all night, and I would just have to kind of sleep it off in a really dark place and to try to completely shut off all sensations. And as I aged, I got a surgery to lengthen the leg. And so I had a doctor, Dr. Eilert, here in Denver. He's done these leg length operations where they cut the bone in half, and then they put this external fixator on the leg, and they slowly stretch the leg out. Wow. 2 inches. It changed my life. I initially thought I wanted to be a physical therapist after that because I had to learn how to walk again. I had to do a lot of rehab to strengthen the muscles again. Wow. And so I did a lot of shadowing with physical therapists, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I totally respect the field. But I figured that potentially the chiropractic was a little bit more suited for me because of the imbalance in posture that I dealt with personally.
Dealing with it personally as a young child, I mean, she rubbed your temples, you walked on her back, you decided not to hit the slopes and just continue snowboarding, but actually get out and share what you knew with others. That's great. I think every one of us can agree that a spinal injury is serious stuff. I mean, obviously, this is the lifeline to our body. It is really the pathway that our brain speaks to the rest of our body, but yet I think a lot of people don't realize that you can come to a chiropractor when you're not injured. You can come to a chiropractor to make sure you stay in optimal health so that you don't get injured as easily. Is that something really is a passion for you to educate people about?
Oh, it's huge. Most of the people that do come in here have some sort of acute or chronic issue, but we do get people that are out of their acute issue and they come in here for maintenance. It's kind of like if you take a multivitamin every day, you know that down the road it's helping you out. Same thing with fish oil and probiotic. You don't notice it immediately. And with maintenance adjustments and muscle work, you do have some immediate relief of tension. It feels like there's less weight on you. You feel a little bit lighter. You move a little bit better. And overall, you just feel happier. And so, the wellness aspect of chiropractic is definitely huge, even though we do a lot of acute and chronic care.
I found that a lot of chiropractors are very passionate, really just about helping people. What is it that got you involved in this industry?
Sure, great question. So originally I was actually a nursing student. I went to a college out at St. Olaf College in Minnesota. But I always had a really strong interest in natural health care and nutrition, and I actually grew up here in Longmont and near the, in the Boulder area where that's kind of very mainstream, I guess, compared to some parts of the country. I'd had great experiences with acupuncture. And then actually I was running college track and I was dealing with some injuries with my foot and then with my back and had never had chiropractic care and ended up on a summer actually when I was home in Colorado getting chiropractic care. And it was at a time when I really wasn't sure, if nursing was the right path for me. I was interested in physical therapy. I knew I was interested in healthcare, was really interested in natural healthcare, and I had really great experience with it myself. It helped me a lot. I was able to then, keep running track, I ended up doing CrossFit, now I'm an avid rock climber, so it's made a really big difference in my life and how active I've been able to be, and it made me realize that being a chiropractor, being a natural doctor was just what I wanted to be. So.
Share with us a little bit what the body goes through, what kind of trauma it goes through just in that of pregnancy.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the body is going through tremendous change throughout pregnancy. A lot of things happen, especially women have an increase in a hormone called relaxin, and this hormone actually loosens all of their ligaments, and this is huge when we think about chiropractic care, just because the ligaments are really what kind of hold our spine and our structure together, and once those slacken a little bit, oftentimes women will deal with a lot of shifting out of place with their spine and their pelvis, which can cause them a lot of pain, and chiropractic is something that can very easily help them with this. So can make a huge difference for them.
A huge difference, not only after the pregnancy, but what about before? Are there months before when we can actually start helping the body get ready, and can that be done through chiropractic?
Definitely. So having the spine and the pelvis especially aligned is fabulous to do anytime for anybody, but if you think about, growing something inside of you that's going to change your pelvis, really if we can start with things as best as possible, you're going to be in a better position. I mean, it's definitely going to be helpful. There's no doubt about that.
Start off a little bit, first of all, about yourself. Could you tell us how you got involved in this type of industry?
I grew up playing sports, doing a lot of activities that I was beating myself up and needed muscle work, needed body work, realized the importance of that and wanted to do the same and help people like myself.
So this is something that basically you have benefited from yourself. What age was it when you were beating yourself up in these sports?
In college, I started doing triathlon, and through the swimming, biking, and running, you have a lot of demand you're putting on the tissues. And around that time is when I started, getting these overuse injuries that really benefited well from doing some things like chiropractic and ART and dry needling and that sort of stuff. And after seeing how good it helped me, and I wanted to obviously do that and help other people.
Basically, like you said, in college, when you notice, we have a lot of college-age people like doing MMA, different type of sports. What about the younger ages, like that of pee-wee wrestling, pee-wee sports? Do the parents not realize that a lot of times we're putting a lot of stresses on the body more than possibly the eye can even see?
Sure, absolutely. Anyone of any age can really benefit from the work we do. If you're putting stress on your body, whether that be through a sport or through sitting in a chair all day, you're teaching your tissues, you're teaching your joints to act a certain way. Once we get too far away from normal, we start to experience breakdown of those tissues.
Someone out there who is doing sports, which you specialize in, many times they're working towards something, going to state, something great. When they get injured, that can be heartbreaking. Is it exciting for you getting them back out on the track or on the mat again?
Absolutely. That's the best part about our job is somebody comes in and they're in pain, and then when they leave, they feel better. When you make people feel better, they love you. And so, helping people reach their goals is ultimately what we're all about. And so whether that's getting to state, finishing a marathon, or getting back in the ring for a fight, it's what we live to do. It's what gets us up every day.
We've been to your office many times. You continue expanding, continue growing. What are some of the ages that people benefit from chiropractic? I mean, all the way down from pediatrics, you've got a specialist here, all the way up to the elderly. Tell me a little bit about some of the benefits for all of them.
Yeah, Dr. Graber's new to our practice. She's great. She treats prenatal and pediatric. Those are her specialties. So she sees women that are going through pregnancy or women that are about to get pregnant as well. And then it's a natural transition to once they have the baby, for the baby to get checked out. I think it's a good idea to get your little precious child that was in a little tiny ball in the womb for 9 months, and then it pops out. It can be quite stressful for a baby, and from colic to just simple distress, they have a hard time communicating that. So just a general checkup, just like they go to their pediatrician. You go to the chiropractor to check out the spine. And sometimes we find some restrictions in their spine that can be easily corrected.
It's amazing what we can correct. I mean, we as humans, we go through trauma at the beginning, throughout our life, depending on our level of activity. What about the elderly? Why are they more prone to accidents and injury? And what can they do through chiropractic to really keep them more flexible?
Yeah, we see a lot of the geriatric community here. And I love that aspect of the community because they've had such a long and fruitful life. And you know, to really take care of them and to make them feel better into transitioning from their career into retirement, and from retirement into you know, just going through the aging process. And to help someone go through the aging process is special. It's an honor. And so you know, I feel grateful that that aspect of the community can be helped through chiropractic.
What about those that are basically, we live in Colorado, we love our outdoor sports, we love snowboarding, we love skiing, we're pretty active here in Colorado. Why should we be concerned about making sure that our body's running optimally, especially if we're involved in those type of activities?
Oh, Colorado is so active. And you know, every day we have people that are into CrossFit, yoga, Pilates, runners, we get Ironmen, we get professional fighters. You know, we get a whole slew of these of athletes, from, you know, the person that wants to run a marathon for the first time to the person that's on their 50th Ironman. And, you know, the whole span needs body work. The rest and recovery aspect of trying to do something at your peak performance level shouldn't be underestimated. The better you can recover and rehab, the higher levels of training you can achieve. And so we help people live an active lifestyle, and I'm so honored to be part of that.
That's definitely apparent as you walk through your office there. You take a look at the whole wall there of professional athletes, people that are achieving peak performance. Was this something that you gravitated towards? And is it something you enjoy, really making sure these folks are free from injury?
I love all aspects of people, from, you know, babies to old people to middle age. And, you know, to me, it's good to change it up. I really like the aspect of trying to figure out one of the elite athletes' problems to try to help them perform better, because it's a bit more of a mystery with them. And so, you know, really dialing into some of the special training that I've done, such as the SFMA, the Selective Functional Movement Assessment, really helps me dive into a much higher level of assessment of a body, so I can really target the treatments into areas that might not necessarily look like they need treated, but they're causing issues in a distant area of the body. So yeah, I think doing that, it excites me. I like doing the general neck and back and headache stuff, but you know, getting to deal with some of the athletes, it's really fun. It makes you feel like you're on their team.
Not only a team, but you enjoy the challenge, you enjoy the mystery of finding out what it is. These are people that are basically have advanced activities. That requires advanced technologies, advanced therapies. You continue to really add to your repertoire, to your box of what you're able to provide. Let's discuss a couple of those, touch on a couple. Let's start out with dry needling. That is something we take a look at today. Share with me a little bit about that.
Yeah, dry needling is a fantastic therapy. It's like the Western version of acupuncture. It's really quick. We use the same type of needles that an acupuncturist uses, and we target trigger points and target areas of the body that need facilitated or inhibited. Sometimes muscles get overactive or underactive, and dry needling can help bring that back to neutral. We also do cold laser therapy, and then our newest addition is shockwave therapy. Shockwave therapy is an excellent choice for tendinopathies, plantar fasciitis, tennis elbow, runner's knee, shoulder impingement syndrome. It breaks up scar tissue. It breaks it up in a quarter of the time that our typical therapies like active release and Graston do. And so it really accelerates the healing process.
And really, so that is sound therapy. I mean, the same thing that you're getting in a sonic boom, if you will. You're basically targeting that to an area, breaking down the tissue a lot better than pretty much anything that you've ever experienced.
Yeah, you know, we do it in combination with ART, Graston, needling, and laser. And so, you know, if you rely on one technique to heal everything, you're missing out. And so, yeah, we typically do shockwave in combination with the other therapies. And so the other therapies alone would take about a dozen treatments over a period of 4 to 6 weeks-ish. We can cut that down to 2 to 3 weeks if we do shockwave therapy. And there's a lot of research backing it up, validating its effects.
On the dry needling, can electrical activity actually be measured? And is there a difference when they do a measurement after you've done a dry needling?
Good question, Gary. So, yeah, you can measure the electrical activity. There's a surface electromyography, SEMG. We don't have SEMG. We rely on some other diagnostics to determine if treatment's successful or not.
When I see the twitching going on, what is that? What is happening there?
Yeah, it's a really cool response that the body does. It's called the latent twitch response. When you insert a needle in a muscle, and you agitate that muscle with the needle, sometimes it'll undergo what's called the latent twitch response. It's similar to if you were to put a piece of metal in an electrical outlet. It shorts the circuit. Same thing with these muscles. These muscles are running off of electrical impulses. And when we put that metal needle in there, it interferes with that circuit and it restarts it. It's a reboot. It's the Control-Alt-Delete of the system.
And that's got to be good. I mean, I know it's good for my system when I do it on my computer. Same thing with the body as well. One of those you had mentioned there was the shockwave therapy. I mean, this is something that you don't see here in Colorado. I mean, you've got some technology here that really no one else has touched.
Yeah, there's a couple podiatrists that have it because it's FDA approved for plantar fasciitis, and it works like a charm for plantar fasciitis. And that's a treatment, or that's a condition that's very difficult to treat. And so having shockwave on board makes this condition much easier to treat. As far as I know, I'm the only chiropractor in Denver that has shockwave therapy. Very expensive machine, but we keep the prices very affordable for people. And we like to help people. If all I did was adjust people all day, I wouldn't get the results. People need a variety of therapies, from exercise rehabilitation to cool laser stuff.
Well, cool laser stuff, like you say. I mean, you really believe in helping people. You put your money where your mouth is because you're investing in this type of technology. You invest in the environment. Every time I come in, it's a great place to walk into. Has this been rewarding for you, basically? Taking people from a point of maybe pain and bringing them to a point of optimal health, is that enjoyable?
Oh, absolutely. We had a medical doctor come to us a couple years ago. He had plantar fasciitis so bad that he had to get a handicap sticker so he can walk into the grocery store. Now he's running marathons.
That's got to be great. I mean, speaking of those great testimonials, the great reviews, what a lot of people don't realize, we get a lot of our information from reviews online, like Yelp and whatnot. When you're able to see in words what you're able to do for people, because you have great reviews out there, people that really love what they found here. Maybe they've moved and were looking for a chiropractor. They now have one. How does that make you feel to read some of that?
Oh, it makes me grateful. For one thing, I feel honored that the people came here and asked me to help them out. And the fact that I did umpteen years of training to get to this spot, it's finally paying off. And, nothing makes me happier than seeing someone else happy. And so that's what it comes down to. And we're living in this digital age where everything is transparent. You got to give a good service. It's as simple as that. People are going to know. And you can't take advantage of people. You got to give them something that's of value to them, something of more of value to them than the money that they're giving us. It's not about the money one bit. I have put so much effort and energy into building this place up. We have this new gym. We got the shockwave therapy. We have a new digital X-ray. We've redone everything in this clinic, from floors to lighting to artwork to tables to furniture. It's all for the people, to give them a better experience.
It is quite an experience as I walk through here. I mean, every time I'm amazed that you continue expanding. This time you took me out the back door, and we're sitting here in a great gym, a place for athletes. Really, this is a tribute to your athletes, a place that is really devoted to them, showing that you care about their welfare as well. On the front end, like you said, you have a digital X-ray. I mean, this is digital X-ray is so different from what we had in the past. This is an X-ray machine that really doesn't miss too many things, and obviously a good diagnosis is critical to your success.
Absolutely. That digital X-ray is awesome to have on site. We don't X-ray every patient that walks through the door, but sometimes it is so convenient. Someone trips and falls, they wonder if they have a fracture. We get them X-rayed. you got a fracture. We give them the disc, we refer them to one of our orthopedists that we commonly work with, or just some of the severe back issues too have, it's necessary to x-ray their back, their spine, just to see what's happening, because there can be some really bad stuff that can happen with the spine. And so having the x-ray on site makes it much more convenient for us and for the patient. Before, we would have to send them to an imaging facility. They would have to call there, get an appointment, go there, take time off from their work, and then the radiologist reads the report, then they fax it to us, then I gotta call the patient, they gotta come in here. Now it's boom, 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 x-ray them, this is what's going on, this is what we need to do.
Speaking of boom, 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 and people having not enough time anymore, we're trying to fit in everything. I'd have to say that half of those reviews out there are not only at speaking of your hands and what you're able to do, but your entire team. People on the front end that are making sure that people get in on time, on a chair, out the door. Was this important to you, making sure that you not only have a friendly staff, but an effective staff?
My assistants make me look pretty good. Yeah, it's a team approach, absolutely. When a person comes and calls, to when they come in through the door, to when we check their insurance, to when we take a payment, to when the therapy's put on, put off, to the doctor experience, it's immeasurable. It's so important to have that overall team experience. And so, I've put a lot of value in training the staff and taking care of them too. I want them here for life.
Everybody's on the same page, and that is a passion for helping people. It sounds like the common thread many times is you all have a personal experience that brought you to the doors here, and now you're sharing that with others. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their contact information. The location is available right here in Denver in the Highlands, real easy to get to, and basically always expanding the technology as well as the staff that is able to serve you out there. Take a look at the website. You're going to see more of their story, learn more about the team, many services. This is basically a team that not only has one tool in their repertoire, but quite a few to make sure that in the shortest effective time that you can be healed, be it an individual or a family. They're going to help you out here. Complete athletes. If you're an athlete that has needs like that of MMA, basically want to come out, check out their new facility here. Very convenient, friendly staff on the front end. That is the Denver Chiropractic since 2008, serving folks here in the Highlands of Denver. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.